Toastmasters. Later this month, Liz will be hosting a retirement party for her mom, played today by Kathyrn, who is 73 years old. Not Kathyrn, her mom. The dinner party will be attended mostly by family members, her children, her grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Today, you and I are in the role of guests, so our family, at the retirement dinner. Liz is practicing the speech that she's going to give that evening. Everyone, Liz read.
We've gathered here today to play tribute to Mom, to Grandma, Beth Austin, our friend. She has worked and worked and worked and worked for years and years and years, and today we will take the time to acknowledge the work that she's done for all of us for all of these years. You see, we all know her for her patience, for her integrity, for her strong work ethic. She's a wonderful person. But what brings her to this day, where she's going to retire and enjoy the rest of her life without having to work? Well, you see, a woman of her generation, some of you kids may not know this, but she was raised in the 40s and 50s. The home economics classes of her day did not quite teach her to aspire to retire. Rather, what they taught young women of the day was when Dad came home, she was to have a hot meal ready at the door because we would not understand how difficult her day might have been, or his day might have been. She needed to fix up her makeup, put on a ribbon, and greet him with a comfortable smile, because he may have had a weary, dreary day and needs a lift. The woman of her generation needed not to speak about complaining. They needed to speak in a soft tone, and certainly not speak up until he's ready to hear what she has to say. That's what they taught in home economics classes of her day. So what brings her to this day? Well, you see, she was raised, some of you may know this, as the daughter of someone who owned a pastry shop. And she loved the smells of those freshly baked breads. And so she partook in those regularly. Oh, and let's not mention the lard-laden frostings. Delectable. As a result, she was a plump little girl. She believed, being plump, that she might have a difficult time finding an adequate suitor. So she decided she was going to be financially responsible for herself. She went off to college. But there, she found Dad, and they fell in love. She still got her degree. They both graduated with accounting degrees, but they did get married and began to have children. She, like most women of her day, dropped out of the workforce. She began to raise children. And she had child after child after child after child after child. There's 6 of us. And we, as you know, were a rambunctious lot. By the time the oldest was 12, Dad had enough of the anarchy. He left. So there's Mom, a single parent to 6 kids, rambunctious kids at that. And she found out very quickly that child support was not going to make the ends meet. So she promptly went to work. Now, being out of the workforce for so long, she found it difficult to find a job. Now, she doesn't share this on her resume anymore, but as a young, impressionable girl, I remember one of the first jobs she got. Yes, Mom worked for Hustler magazine. Okay, you're right. She did not pose for any of the pictures. She certainly isn't a woman of integrity, but she was an accountant. And back in Larry Flint's day, they didn't keep accountants there very long. It was about 6 months. Mom managed to eke out 13 months. But she continued to seek different jobs, tried to better herself, and feed her family. She worked and she worked and she worked until 1987, she got a job with the state. Finally, a job that she could retire on. So she went to work, she had financial, she finally had benefits, and she finally had something where she could count on from day to day. She started as a lowly account clerk too, and she worked her way up. Account clerk 3, account clerk supervisor, acting physical manager, until she was finally able to retire in 2005. You're right, it's not 2005, and we're having her retirement in 2012. She went back to work and worked some more. She worked a couple other jobs until finally she's able to retire. Let's hope it's for good this time and she enjoys her retirement. So that brings us to this day. And what we want to accomplish more than anything else, Mom, is to thank you for all those years of hard work, all those sacrifices you've made. There was no one to come in and make sure you had a hot meal when you came in. There was no one there to ensure that things were quiet after you had a calm, weary, dreary day and needed a lift. We were rambunctious and gave you a hard time, but you continued to work and you struggled. And we want to take this time today to thank you for all the work that you did. We appreciate that so much. As a result, you now have 6 children who have learned from you. We all have a strong work ethic. We all have integrity. We all are there for our families. We have women in our family who are not afraid to take financial responsibility for our full family. And we have men in our family who respect women who choose to work or choose to have the financial responsibility for the family. It is because of you that we are productive members of our communities. Thank you so much. Madam Prime Minister.